enjoy photography? How many of you here spend hours scrolling through Instagram looking at everyone else's photographs? Imagine making a business out of that. Sounds fun, right? My name is Amrita. I'm a child photographer and a creative business entrepreneur. I'm super thrilled to be here, but I'm even more thrilled to tell you that I have my dream job. I wake up every morning supercharged to go to work. But the path to this spot wasn't easy. In fact, I didn't even think I would make it here, and I almost did not. I grew up in a typical North Indian family in the South, surviving the best of both worlds. Ambition and education weren't exactly top priority in the community I come from. However, as parents of 3 children, 3 daughters, who were extremely competitive, extremely interested in the academics, and we wanted to make something of our lives, my parents were completely supportive and encouraging of it. I, on the other hand, have a slightly different story to share. At the age of 5, I literally remember being pushed on stage by some teacher for a kindergarten function. Little did I know that being on stage, I would be smitten by the arts. Dance, music, drama became an integral part of my life growing up. I was so smitten that I fervently pursued the arts every chance I got. But I grew up, and at the age of 17, when I had to make a life choice, a career choice, the options that were laid out to me was medicine, law, engineering. There were no other options laid out, and I knew no better. So when I expressed my interest in pursuing the arts as a career to my parents, there were a lot of raised eyebrows. You can imagine their reaction. At this point, I was told by so many family and friends that the arts were only for the elite to indulge in. Having a career in the arts was unstable, because stability is everything, and it wasn't reliable. And I should just go ahead and pursue it as a hobby. I was quite heartbroken. And so I settled, I moved on. I picked human resources as an alternate career path. Someone somewhere told me that I'd be good at human resources because I seemed like a people person. What they forgot to tell me was that no matter what role you play in life, you have to be a people person. So here I was, pursuing a double master's degree in human resources and acquiring over 7 years of work experience. But the entire time, I was leading a double life. I was dabbling between a 9 to 6 p.m. job and a 7 to 10 p.m. life of an artist. I dabbled between theater, dance, photography, writing articles for local magazines. I even started my small venture in image consulting, which died a quick death. I even tried my stint in wedding choreography. Those creative juices had to keep flowing. And I realized that I wouldn't stop at it. This was me constantly on the lookout to see how I could pursue a career in the arts, which I was denied when I was 17 years old. Over time, I realized that this was a pattern developing. I would not be able to sustain this double life that I was trying to lead. Chasing 2 rabbits gets you nowhere, gets you none. And I realized I had to make a choice. I had to address the issue at hand, and a decision had to be made. Now, leaving my cushy corporate job that I was knee-deep in was no easy feat, was a tough call, because I'm a low-risk taker by nature. Imagine my situation when I had to make an overnight transformation from a corporate journey to an entrepreneurial mindset. But the big question at hand was, what could I do? What could I do to sustain my lifestyle, my financial commitments, and satiate the artist in me? That desperation to work in the space of arts, to be a creative person, to be an artist, to live the life of an artist, pushed me to think really hard. And you know how they say necessity is the mother of invention? I can vouch for that 1,000 times over. Because when you're really seeking for something and you knock on every door, you will eventually find something. I scanned all my options, the number of art forms I dabbled in, and tried to figure what would work best. I wanted to do something fresh, unique, and it was a matter of a brainwave that photography was closest to my heart at that point. I remember sitting at home, performing aunt duties, taking pictures of my twin niece and nephew, watching them grow up, that it suddenly struck me that I could combine two of my favorite things, babies and photography. And this could be a beautiful business opportunity right there. So here I was, taking this huge leap of faith, a massive leap of faith, into the world of child photography, seeking it as a possible business opportunity, a very popular concept in the West but lacked complete presence in India. And this was my chance to nurture the artist in me. I was excited and I moved forward. Now is when the real deal began. I was at these crossroads where I had to figure out how to make this work. I was taking that big step forward. I was leaving my corporate job behind. And I knew I had to make this work no matter what. Fortunately for me, I had some experience to extrapolate from when I helped a friend's photography business. And so I used the simple principles of photography at capturing children in their natural element in their comfortable spaces. My first shoot, we can attribute it to skill, success, or talent even. My first shoot was a good success. And I say this because when I uploaded those pictures online and I announced to the world that here I was switching careers completely, there was a huge trigger of attention and response to it. I was elated. I was bombarded by booking requests. I was so excited that this could finally be it. This could be me trying to make my dream into a reality. The excitement was hard to contain. At that point, I dove into the world of child photography. I gave it my 200%. I learned, I relearned, I unlearned everything I could to possibly hone my skill and become the best version of a child photographer. After hours and months of hard work in this, I realized someone forgot to send me the memo. The memo that tells you, being an artist is only 20% of the job when you make it a creative business, while the remaining 80% is really about hustling. It took a lot of planning and strategizing to make the business work, but I didn't have these plans back then. So at the end of a good joyride, over 6 months, suddenly things changed. All business stopped. I had 0 booking requests, 0 incoming calls, 0 interest in what I did. And I tried to make sure no leaf was left unturned. I tried every possible way to market my work. I tried everything under the sun. Nothing worked. At this point, I felt like an overexposed piece of film with nothing to say. I lost a lot of hope here. But this situation woke up 2 people inside my head. One, the artist in me, the overachieving artist who wouldn't just sit around and wait for things to pick itself up. So I capitalized on this 2-month slump that I was having, and I created a huge portfolio for myself. A portfolio that executed my vision, my style, my approach versus someone else's request of what they wanted for me to click. And I created a beautiful portfolio which gets referenced to even till date by my clients. But the other person that woke up inside my head was the more responsible one, that told me I needed to get serious. I needed to quit playing with my career, and that I should go back to my corporate job, be stable, have a reliable job, and not play around. I listened to this guy. This was me going back to the corporate world all over again, reaching out to my network of HR people and saying, I think I have to go back. This doesn't seem to be working. I started the interviewing processes with a bunch of companies. Now, this is not a story I'm proud of, but it was a turning point in my life. At this juncture, I was trying to figure what I could do to be able to get out of the situation. I was working on an assignment given to me by a company on HR strategies. While staring at it, I realized this is the life I've been trying to escape for 10 whole years. And here I was, going back to it at the drop of a hat. I was fleeting at the sight of failure. I didn't even give myself a chance to convert my dream into a reality. Fear overtook me and I caved. What did I do next? I took a U-turn. I stared at my business long and hard, and I made the strongest promise to myself that no matter what, I'm going to go back, make Monisha's work as a business, and not give up on it no matter what happens, no matter how big a slump, no matter how many slumps, I would make it stick. And I did exactly that. Today I can stand in front of you very confidently and tell you that my business is now set up in 2 countries, India and Singapore. In multiple cities within India, I've shot for over 1,100 families in over 10 countries. I have multiple business verticals focusing on families, scaling with birthing hospitals, and also scaling with commercial businesses in the mother and child space. I have a host of awards and publications under my sleeve, and it was all about belief. How did I make this dream a reality? The answer is quite simple. It was a necessity to make it work, a necessity to pursue a career in the arts, else I would have regretted it. And this drove me to make sure that I throw myself into the deep end of the pool at any given point in time. The real struggle, however, began a year into my business. While I looked around, I noticed that there were a lot more child photographers. While I personally don't believe in competition, I knew that if I had to sustain and succeed, I would have to stay unique, I would have to stand apart, I would have to be a notch above. So I didn't get complacent. I worked really hard. How else do I make myself unique in this space? Everybody was doing exactly what I was doing. So the easy option out here was for me to diversify into other genres of photography, such as fashion or weddings. But I wanted to stay committed to what I was passionate about. I wanted to stay authentic. I wanted to be real and true to myself here. So within the space of child photography, I started to figure out various styles of executing the same service. Something that would appeal to a larger audience, and therefore reaching to a farther audience. And it slowly worked. I moved from lifestyle photography, which I started out with, into the world of newborn photography. Newborn photography is when we capture babies between the age of 5 to 15 days of age. India was definitely not ready for this, given how much of a taboo we attached to capturing pictures of newborn babies in the first 3 months. But here I was, ready to take this on with a lot of drive. I knew it would be new, I knew it would be fresh, and I was very excited about my work. So what I did here was educate myself enormously about newborn children. I picked up every pediatric book in the market that my clients were reading so that our wavelengths would match when we spoke about babies. And then I went on to educate my clients extensively. The process, the technique, the safety, the hygiene, the safety precautions and the safety certifications I had, behind the scene videos, images, everything possible, blogs even. And slowly, the clients trickled in. Over time, newborn photography has become one of my biggest genres. I moved on to other genres, and over time I grew my portfolio of services, making myself a versatile child photographer, being able to switch between lifestyle to studio and the likes of it. They say if you put 10,000 hours of practice into a certain skill, you get close to becoming an expert. And I believe that necessity, will, and desire can also get you there. I want to conclude by telling you that back in the day, the easiest accessible art form was art on paper or graffiti on walls. But today, I believe it's photography. Every one of us have a camera in our pocket. It's easy for us to share stories, to express ourselves, share a narrative. And that is how beautiful photography is. When I started, I only saw the shiny bits of photography, the gear, the nomadic existence. But only later did I realize there was so much more to it when you, as an artist, want to pursue a business out of something you love. It wasn't just light at the end of the tunnel that drove me to be here. Honestly, it was about embracing the shadows, the deep, dark shadows that I had to struggle through in the deep, dark tunnel to get to light. Humans, we grow the quickest, we change the quickest, and we start making necessary changes in our lives while we're going through our struggles. So I would tell you, trust your struggles, embrace them, grow with them. It's up to you when you reach the end of the tunnel and you find light, which is going to shine ever so brightly. Do you want that light to shape you, or do you want to shape the light? Thank you.